Congratulations on the result tonight. Very dominant performance out there. Just talk us through your thoughts on the match and how you played.
Yeah, I felt like I started the match really solid. I didn't have a lot of unforced errors. I was playing pretty aggressive, going for my shots, and super happy with how I played today. Happy that I didn't go to 3 sets because she also stepped into the match and started playing better in the second set. So just overall happy with my performance.
Okay, we'll start with Scott.
You're growing confidence in Australia after your performance in Adelaide last week and now through 2 rounds here?
So again?
Are you growing in confidence?
Yes, I feel like I gained some confidence, especially after Adelaide, winning the title there, going into Melbourne, playing a lot of matches, winning those matches. So yeah, I can say that that win obviously gave me some confidence, and I'm trying to keep the level of that mindset and of that confidence as well for as long as I can as I'm playing in Melbourne.
Next question, Cole.
Hey Mirra, well done tonight. So you talked about being aggressive against Maria tonight, and it seemed like you were able to control her movement really well, and in the first set and into the second as well. Just kind of elaborate a little bit more on where you guess your strategy in being aggressive against her. Just talk about the tactic with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know that Maria is a very aggressive player. She likes to take her forehand. She likes to also take her backhand as well. So I kind of tried to neutralize her shots on the baseline. I just tried to be solid, but at the same time, when I have an opportunity to step in and, take an advantage of whatever position I'm in, I would try to do that. And I felt like, the plan was working really well. And then I lost my focus a little bit. She also is a human. She started playing better. And then I felt like in the second set, we really had a tough couple of games where it could have gone either way. So about that, I'm just happy that it went my way and we didn't have to play the third set.
Okay, we'll go Matt and then Catherine. Matt and Charlie.
That first set, or I guess first 8 games, your level was incredibly high. I'm wondering, is that as high as you can remember it in a while? And like, what other times stand out as when you were playing that well?
Well, I think the other time when I remember myself play really well was when I was playing in Cincinnati in 2024, right? Yeah. When I lost to Iga 7-5 in the third set, 2024. So I remember myself playing really well that tournament, and also I had the same feelings when I was playing French Open when I lost in semifinals as well. I was feeling very confident on the court also. So I kind of had the same feelings today. Starting with the warm-up, for some reason, I felt like, the ball was going pretty well. I was hitting the balls. I don't know how many balls I missed, maybe 2 or 3 in like 30 minutes. I was like, wow, this was like the best warm-up I've ever had, and then I guess it all started with the warm-up, and then just like this, I don't know what day was today, but I felt like I was playing really solid.
Okay, we'll go Kath and then Charlie and then David Tumani.
Hi Mirra, I know Maria's not Australian, but like the Greeks sometimes talk about this slam as like their home tournament, right? And there was a lot of Greek support out there. You've had tough experiences with the crowd against you, particularly in the last 12 months. Like, how was it out there tonight? Are you pleased with how you dealt with it? And is that something you've been wanting to kind of work on?
Yeah, I do think that it was not the worst experience with the fans today. Obviously, they were loud. They were supporting a lot for Maria, and when she won those 3 games in a row, I think she won 11 or 12 points in a row. Like, they really went for it. They really started to be very loud on the court. And I just kind of thought that, it's okay if I lost my focus because I'm also human and I can drop a little bit. And then she also started playing better, and I tried really not to focus on the crowd. I really tried to focus on what to do next to come back and not give her the bigger lead in the second set. So I really tried to keep all my focus into the match, not thinking about how loud they are cheering on her or how bad it could be if I lose more points or more games. So I'm happy with how I really put my focus into the match and not outside, and didn't get frustrated on that.
Change from how you've dealt with similar situations in the past?
Well, I do think that there is a change because I think we all seen how I struggled in Paris when I was playing a quarterfinal last year. So it was not easy for me, obviously. But now, as I'm learning that this is gonna happen almost every tournament that I'm gonna go, there are gonna be a lot of fans cheering for one or the other player. So it's something that I have to learn how to deal with, and there is no other way around it. So now I'm trying to learn new techniques, how to not to pay attention to that, how to keep my focus to the match, and I think today I did pretty good.
Charlie?
Mirra, congratulations. A number of players have switched nationalities from Russia over the last year or so. I wondered, A, what you made of that, and B, if that's something you've ever considered for yourself.
Well, I didn't even think about it. I heard and I saw also like Dasha Kazatkina, she changed her citizenship. A lot of players changed, but for now I'm just gonna play like this, and I didn't have any offers or anything, so for now it's just gonna be like this.
Does it add a pressure, do you think?
Does it what?
Does it add a pressure playing for a country where you don't have the flag and that sort of thing? Like, are there times when you wish you didn't play for a country where it's so kind of political?
No, for me it doesn't add any pressure. I'm just doing my thing on the court. I focus on how to get better, how to improve as a tennis player. So for me, it doesn't add any pressure.
David, Timani, and then we'll finish with Scott.
Mirra, congratulations. I wanted to ask you about your work with Conchita. I feel like obviously when you had as great of a start last year as you did, things are easy, but then when things maybe are more difficult, it may be easy for a younger player in particular, maybe panic and want to make a change. I'm curious how you saw maybe the bigger picture with your work with her and how you've managed to see through maybe the tougher times.
Yeah, I do think that we've done a lot of work. We've put in a lot of work, especially on the off season, and now I kind of start to see the result. I kind of see that what we were working on actually is working on the match, and I use it. And now, for example, I'm not afraid to use certain shots or certain techniques or tactics during the matches, because that's what we've been working on for some time. And I do think that before, when I was just starting on tour, and she was actually kind of one of my first coaches when I got to the tour. So I do feel like before, at some certain moments, like for example today, I would panic, losing 3 games in a row, 12 points in a row, like what is happening? Am I gonna come back? Like, oh my God. But now she's also helped me with that, obviously, because she keeps telling me that, if you ever drop, it's also okay, because you're a tennis player, she's a tennis player, things can change very quickly. And I do think and feel that the work that we're putting on together is paying off. I see the results. So now I can give a lot of credit to Conchita for that.
Okay, Timani and then Scott. Timani?
Hey Mirra, well played. When you're playing aggressive tennis, obviously you like to take the ball early and be on top of the baseline, right? How much do you actually think about your court positioning, like during a match or during training, and also how challenging is it to like stay on the baseline and during a whole match?
Yeah, obviously I do pay more attention to that when I'm practicing, or I try to be more focused on that when I have practice sessions, and Conchita keeps reminding me on that sometimes, when we're playing points, I tend to go back and kind of get back to my old tennis, let's say. So on the practice, we do pay more attention to that, but obviously when I'm playing matches, I don't think about techniques, or I don't think about where I should be standing. I just think about the game, what I need to do to win. I don't know which shot I have to play in order to win the point. And obviously when sometimes things are not working, Conchita can tell me some stuff that she would tell me on the practice, like, Mirra, you're too far behind the baseline. I don't know, go closer to the baseline, maybe, I don't know, get into the court, do this, do that. But we think about that more when I'm practicing, not when I'm playing the match.
When you find yourself going further back behind the baseline, why is that why is that the case? Like, is it because you want more time? Is it because you feel like you don't want to take as much risk? Like, yeah.
Well, I think it's because before I used to be more of a defensive player, since I'm very young. For like 1.5 years we've been working with Conchita for me, taking the initiative, because obviously she knows that I can do it. I also know that I can do it, and it brings more points and more results to my game. So sometimes when I'm nervous or when I get tense, I tend to, kind of go back to my old habits. But now I also realize that the game that I've been playing now is working, and it brings me a lot of results. So I'm forcing myself to, I don't know, be closer to the baseline even when I'm not comfortable being there.
Okay, last one, Scott.
Mirra, this one is a little bit political, but a Ukrainian player yesterday came out very strongly and said the players from Russia and Belarus shouldn't be playing tennis at all. How do you feel when you hear something like that?
Well, I do think every person has their own opinion, and I don't want to judge a player or a person by what they say. So, she can have her own opinion and say whatever things she wants.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.